Alabama State defeats Prairie View A&M. We're forward on in the season, and we're continuing to keep it rolling. But now we're going to go out to Jackson, Mississippi. Two sets of very petty fans. It's the Soul Bowl. Alcorn State Braves are in town to take on the Jackson State Tigers. I know it says Capital City Classic, but it's really the Soul Bowl. Anyway, 3rd and 10. Anthony White steps back the pass. He pops it up the middle. He finds his guy. What a great catch, and that was an absolute dot thrown by Anthony Weiss. Jackson State still driving. 1st and 10. This time Weiss is going deep, and that pass is caught by Adam O'Neal, and he going into the end zone for a Jackson State touchdown. An unbelievable catch, and a great job by Anthony Weiss under pressure, keeping his poise and firing that dot to Adam O'Neal. And now Jackson State has a 7-0 lead over their arch rivals. So here goes Alcorn State. J.B. Bracey, the impact player and quarterback for the Braves. He's looking deep, and that pass is caught. Look at that catch, and he's gone. Touchdown, Alcorn State. A great catch by John McLeod. Alcorn's back on offense again. Bracey popping it deep again, and that pass is caught. The running back comes out the backfield and makes an absolute great catch on 3 defenders. 2nd and 10. There he goes again on the handoff, the spin move, and he's going nowhere, and he fumbled the ball. And it looks like Jackson State have it. Do they have it? Jackson State has it. What a play by the defense. Now they're driving. Anthony Weiss pops it. That pass is tipped and intercepted. Look at that catch right there. A great job by Alcorn State. There goes Carl Dixon. Dixon, the impact player at middle linebacker for the Braves, making that play. So now Brace is looking deep for Jeff Allen, the wide receiver, and he gets into the end zone, and Alcorn State take the lead for the first time today. A great strike by J.B. Bracey, finding Jeff Allen up the left or the right side, and now the Braves are on top. So here goes Alcorn State once again on offense. The pass to the flat, he fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Jackson State. The 3rd turnover of the game for Alcorn State, and the 3rd takeaway for the Jackson State defense. Anthony Weiss gives it to James Jackson. Jackson turns the corner, finds it outside, touchdown Jackson State. And now the game's tied at 14. He had nothing up the middle. He decides to take it outside, finds a crease, and gets into the end zone, and we're tied at 14. So here goes Jackson State again on offense. Anthony Weiss without the pass, he pops it. There goes Gerard Stewart up the left side. Gerard Stewart in the Alcorn State territory. Look at this, past the 30, inside the 20, broke a tackle, inside the 10, inside the 5. What a play by Gerard Stewart. What a play by Gerard Stewart. Jackson State are inside the 5. 1st and goal now. I formation. Weiss pops it in the flat. There goes Adam O'Neal for his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. And Jackson State are back on top. Here goes Weiss again, rolling out to the right, throwing it across his body. Gerard Stewart breaks a tackle, and it gets inside the 40-yard line. Gerard Stewart having a great game. 3rd and 7 now. Weiss off to the pass, he pops it. This time it's caught by Stewart again. Look at Gerard Stewart. This time he gets into the end zone. Touchdown Jackson State. So now the Jackson State Tigers increase their lead to 2 possessions, 28-14. Can Alcorn State finally do something on offense? J.B. Bracey steps back, pops it to the left. It's caught by John McLeod. He breaks a tackle, but eventually this drive was stalled. So here goes Jackson State back on offense. Weiss with the play fake. He pops it in the flat, and then he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Alcorn State. So now, Alcorn State once again did nothing after this play on offense. So here goes Jackson State again. Play fake. Weiss pops it in the flat once again. It's caught by Adam O'Neal past the 20. Inside the 10 he goes. A great play that was by Jackson State. Now they're at the 8. So now it's 1st and goal. Weiss pops it in the end zone. It's tipped and intercepted. So Alcorn State gets another takeaway. But can their offense finally get into the end zone? So here goes J.B. Bracey, the following drive. He steps back the pass, he pops it. It's picked off. It's Tremaine Bowling. Bowling up the 50. He's going down the left sideline, and he's gone for a Jackson State pick 6. The Jackson State defense stands tall. 4 takeaways for the Tigers. So now Alcorn State's in big trouble. Bracey pops it up the middle, and it's picked off. William Allen. This time he breaks the tackle, and this time he takes it back for another pick 6. Back-to-back pick 6s for Jackson State, and the Tigers in the game just like that. What a performance. by the Jackson State defense. Back-to-back pick sixes to put an exclamation point on the Soul Bowl. And the Jackson State Tigers improved their record. Jackson State goes to 2-2 on the season. So let's look at the rest of the scores around the SWAC. Prairie View A&M beat Cincinnati. Wow. Southern beat up on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Looks like Grambling State improves their record to 4-0 after beating Hampton. Grambling State is 4-0. Florida A&M beats Alabama A&M down there in Tallahassee in overtime, 37-31. You saw the Soul Bowl as Jackson State beat Alcorn State 42-17. Bethune-Cookman can't catch a break. Mississippi Valley State escapes Daytona Beach with a victory. Meanwhile, over at the MEAC, only 3 games. You saw Grambling State and Hampton. Morgan State comes up short against North Carolina A&T in overtime. Tennessee State this straight put South Carolina State in a spliff, and that was their first loss of the season. Dang, South Carolina State. So we got somebody that's ready to make his official visit. The Stafford, Texas outside linebacker, Ronnie Alford, is set to make his official visit. So we're going to set him up to come to the Bethune-Cookman game in just a couple of weeks. Funny how that says Stafford, considering Matthew Stafford is actually from Texas. So we go over to the Heisman watch list, and they straight hating on my boy Trey Tyler. Ron Thompson is still on top. Sean Ratkin, the Virginia Tech running back, moved up to the second spot. Kevin Bednarik went down. James Hall kept this spot, and Colin King, the running back for North Carolina State, is on there now. And Andre Bobo, had a great game for Southern. Craig Joseph had an excellent game for Florida A&M, though. Good Lord. 14 tackles, 5 for loss, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. Just an absolute monstrous game. North Carolina A&T sweep the MEAC Awards. Albert Williams and Ross Harris take on offensive and defensive MEAC Players of the Week. Both players balled out in their win versus Morgan State. That is big. Now let's look at the standings right now. Texas Southern are in first place in the East. Wow, look at this. Florida A&M is in first place in the West. That is a shock. But despite all this, we have some breaking news for you cats. I know a lot of y'all love Scott Jordan, but we had to make this decision after reevaluating the wide receiver positions. Scott Jordan will be benched for further reevaluation. It's a damn shame. Scott Jordan has only caught 1 touchdown pass, which is this one right here versus the Georgia Bulldogs. He has not touched the end zone since. Now, Scott Jordan has dropped passes in this game versus Georgia. He also dropped, 2 passes versus USC. As a matter of fact, Scott Jordan did not catch a pass in the next 2 games. He didn't have a catch versus USC. He did not have a catch versus Virginia. We had other players step up to the plate. He finally caught some passes versus Prairie View A&M, but he dropped 3 passes in that game. Now, with that being said, this has been a huge problem from him all season. This was a problem last season. He dropped a lot of passes. Remember when he dropped those passes versus Alabama A&M and the Magic City Classic? One was in the back of the end zone that could have been a touchdown. But he continues to have these problems, and it's really hurting our offense. So now we're just going to bench him. Taking his place, though, is the redshirt freshman from California, Sheldon Green, rocking at number 9, looking like Peter Ward back in the day at Florida State. Came in his first game of action, caught 3 passes. 2 of them went for touchdowns, including this one right here. So now that we're going to do this, we're going to have Ryan Thompson as our number 1. We're going to put Thomas Chavez on the other side. We're going to have Sheldon Green in the slot. We might make some formation changes too. Be on the lookout for that. But this is going to be the wide receivers for now. So join us next time. You're going to see this starting next game. We're going down to Tallahassee, 3 hours down the road in Florida, and we're going to take on the Florida A&M Rattlers. And we need to win this game. Whoever wins this game is most likely going to win the SWAC West. Peace.